I'm joined now live from Kiev by Petro Poroshenko, the former president of Ukraine, who led the country through the first phase of the Donbass war, of course. Thank you so much for making the time for us this morning. I suppose, firstly, the winter is going to make this war very, very difficult. Clearly, there have been big advances from Ukraine pushing the Russians back in the last few months. But what's being done to prepare for the trickier weather where advances will be much harder?
First of all, the war is never an easy thing. And the fact that we have 8 years of war, during which we create the armed forces, we make a reform, and we create the global coalition in support of Ukraine, this is the great achievement. Second, this is the Putin who wanted to weaponize the winter, to weaponize the energy question, to weaponize starvation and food, to weaponize nuclear danger. And with that situation, the way for the Putin blackmail, we should give a right answer. Today, there was the first night when the temperature was below zero. Today, we have almost 40% of the destroyed energy infrastructure in Ukraine. Today, me, my family, and almost most of the Kievites stayed during the night and during the half of the day without electricity, without the water. And this is the way how Putin wanna blackmail us, wanna create a panic. But on contrary, this is the, as we said, better live in darkness and cold weather than to lost a freedom, lost a democracy. And this is the Ukraine now is a unique country who pay such a high price for the freedom and for the democracy. And we are very much appreciate for the great solidarity we have also from the British people. This is the real friend. Friend in need is a friend indeed. And this is difficult. This is the cold in the flats and the residents. This is the not functioning the economy without electricity. But with a very record short time, we renew the energy supply, including because of the supply and transformator, generator, also from Great Britain. Mm-hmm. We are very much appreciate creating the weapons Rammstein as a first sign of the anti-Putin coalition. But it is extremely important to create energy Rammstein, or maybe not Rammstein, but Birmingham or Manchester, if Great Britain would initiate that. And that would be a cap for the maximum price for the oil and gas, Russian oil and gas.
Yes, it does seem that the Western coalition, to some extent, has been pushing Russia further than people would have thought in some areas. But still in other areas, there is clearly more that the West could do. In your view, do some countries need to do more? And to what extent does that support need to come, whether it's cutting down on Russian imports or supporting Ukraine with further exports?
Everybody should understand, first of all, I want to thank all the coalition, all the nation who is the shoulder to shoulder with us during this war. Number one is United States on the figures. Imagine, number two is a Great Britain. And this is their great demonstration of the responsibility. This is extremely important, the European Union and many others. But you should understand that this is not assistance for Ukraine. This is not a help for Ukraine. This is the investment in your own security, in providing the security for every single British citizen throughout the world. Because without the deputinization of the world, you never can feel secure. Without the closing the sky, because from the sky we have just yesterday we have 55 cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, including 12 in Kiev, who attack our electric power station, who attack our distribution center, water supply, because Putin afraid to war against our armed forces, which was created by me since year 2014. And now we have a proof that this is one of the best armed forces in the world, despite of the fact that Russia spent more than 12 times more money than we Ukrainians. And with that situation, I can assure you that only 5 points can stop the war. Point number one, this is the weapon. And we are very much appreciate for the anti-aircraft and anti-missiles weapon. We need a jet fighter and many, many others.
Now, Petro Poroshenko, I did just want to ask you one final question today, which is in the aftermath of the election of Lula da Silva in Brazil. This is someone who has claimed that President Zelensky is as responsible as Putin was for the war. What's your response to Lula da Silva and his equivalence between Ukraine and Russia in his comments?
I know Lula da Silva. I was the Minister of the Foreign Affairs in year 2009 when he was a guest of Ukraine here in Kiev. And he is a very charismatic person. But I want to divide what he said before the election and after the election. And this is just my message. First of all, I want to congratulate Lula with the victory on the presidential election. And I think that now it is a very great responsibility he has on his shoulders in reform and saving Brazil, and in be the influential member of the global coalition. And there is only one place in the global coalition. This is the coalition with Ukraine. And I hope, Mr. Silva, we're waiting for you in this coalition. And my message to him, please remember, victory of Ukraine would be victory of Europe. Victory of Europe would be victory of the world. Victory of the world definitely would be victory of Brazil. No any other way.
Well, Petro Poroshenko, thank you so much for your words. Let's hope that Lula was listening to those there. That's